Hey guys, welcome back to Brain Dump, a show where I talk about pretty much whatever I want to talk about. My name's Kai. This week's episode is going to be about the pressure that society puts on your 20s. There's such an expectation when it comes to being in your 20s. People have this preconceived idea of what it should look like. People may be putting pressure on it without even realizing it, and it may just be me because I'm turning 20 and becoming, ultra aware of all this, but people expect you to be at a certain point to be considered successful in your 20s, quote unquote. No matter what you do, it's never good enough for society. So that's why you gotta start living for you and not for society, because you're just never gonna live up to the unreasonable standards that society has on people. I've been trying to look at life with a glass half full mindset and truly practice gratitude whenever I can. I was telling my mom the other day, we are so fortunate to have a roof over our head and food to eat. Like, there's so many people in this world that just don't get things like that, like necessities. And, we go using these day-to-day things every single day, just simple things that we, really couldn't imagine living without. And there are people that don't have it. And I feel bad because I look at my life sometimes with so much negativity, and this is just something that's been on my mind recently. There's so much negativity in the world. Gratitude and positivity is what I want to radiate, because there's too much of that damn negativity and it stresses me out. There are so many simple things that I get to experience that some people can't. Who am I to be complaining? I have all this, and I'm so fortunate to be able to live somewhere that I'm safe and have food to eat every day. I hear about things people are doing from my past, and I truly hope that they heal. I'm not going to look back at those people that I loved and really valued in my life and wish them badly. It's not. Why would I do that? The absolute worst part about this is that I had a problem comparing my life to others. That was a big part of the social media and a big part of why I deleted Instagram. I would see other people accomplish something and be so envious of them. But now when I see that, I just feel proud of them. It's weird looking at it in that aspect, seeing how my views have changed throughout the years. Like, in my head, I would have been so jealous and envious a few years ago, but now I'm like, wow, I'm so proud of you. That's fucking awesome. The societal pressure turns into an internalized pressure for myself, and I found myself getting burnt out because I was trying so hard to get ahead, but it was really just slowing me down. I find myself doing that in a lot of ways in my life, thinking I'm doing something that's so good for me, but it's actually just pushing me in the total opposite direction. Learning to come to terms with that societal pressure and knowing that it is not going to change really helped me, because now I know what I want my 20s to look like. And obviously things change, but if I continue to compare myself to the rest of society and what other people think of your 20s, then I would fucking spiral. Like, that's just not how I want to live my life. I kind of touched on this in my episode about feeling behind in life, but no one really has it figured out. I know you think that other people do, and they may for the most part, but it's okay to be scared and nervous, because I am. I'm fucking nervous, but I feel prepared. Another thing I have to remember and remind myself is that growth isn't linear. Sometimes things will go right and sometimes things will go wrong, That's okay. When things go wrong, you have to learn to bounce back. That's the most important part. I feel like I had this sort of analysis paralysis. Like, I was paralyzed thinking about other people, and I needed to get my shit together so my life can look like theirs. But once I started paying attention to what I was actually doing, I started to get shit done. I've had this episode idea in my notes since I started this podcast back in May, because I really dreaded turning 20. For a long time, I was like, what the fuck am I gonna do? I'm gonna go into adulthood and I don't know what I'm doing. But nobody knows what they're doing at 19. As I'm taking a look at where I'm at right now, I am so fucking excited to be 20. Like, I'm not gonna be a teenager anymore. That's crazy. There's so many people that I've yet to meet, and so many things that I haven't experienced, and in all honesty, I'm looking forward to my 20s. Over the past few decades, I feel like 30 has become the new 20. Obviously, there's gonna be those people that want to get their ring by spring, but I feel like I barely see people in their 20s getting married anymore. I talked to my mom about what it was like for her. It was basically, you live with your parents until you get married. So my mom was 27? Question mark? I'll have to get back to you on that. When she moved out for the first time, I want to be able to move out and be on my own before I get married. I feel like that's what your 20s should be about, experiencing your life before you settle down. Obviously, you don't have to settle down, to each their own, but I personally am very excited to just fall in love and have a family one day, and I want to make the most of my 20s. But I feel like that's also a little hypocritical because I am actively putting pressure on my 20s by saying that. The part that will inevitably be a huge problem for me at some point in my 20s is the cost of living and the housing crisis in the US right now. I am so lucky to be able to still live at home, but I do want to move out relatively soon, and at this rate, I will never be able to move out. I have worked my ass off since I was 15 years old, and I can't afford to move out. Realistically, I would need like $10,000 at hand, just considering how expensive everything is. When you rent an apartment, you usually have to do first and last month lease, and then you have a security deposit, and for most places around here, like, rent is no less than, I want to say $1,700 for a 1-bedroom apartment. That's crazy. That's not realistic. Who the fuck can afford that? I have money in my savings, but it's most definitely not that much, not $10,000, and it's all going towards school next semester. So it'll be gone soon enough, like in a few months. I just seriously do not understand how people my age are affording all these things. And I know that's a part of me comparing and I'm working on it, but it's seriously so sad that people are doing the most that they can and still living paycheck to paycheck. The United States is too fucking expensive, and I want to move to Canada so bad. But, maybe we'll get to that one day. I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. Weighing in my options. I was thinking about moving to Ireland because I realized that you can get citizenship by descent, and I'm Irish. But apparently living in Ireland is way more expensive than living in the US, so not going there. Not going to be with my ginger people. Okay, these are some things that I would like to accomplish in my 20s. Things will change. Some of these are not realistic, but I'm just gonna put it all out there. I want to earn my bachelor's in psychology. I want to continue this podcast for as long as I can. I'm really enjoying it, and I like dumping my brain every week. It's a great way to get all my shit out for the week. I want to change the world in some way. That's so fucking dramatic, but I do. I want to move out, obviously. And I want to make a livable wage, which is pretty much impossible in today's economy, but this is my plan as of right now, right? Things change. Just putting that out there. I'm really enjoying learning about psychology, and I do want to get my bachelor's. To become a therapist, I need to get my PhD, but I think I want to work in the field for a few years before I decide if I want to return to school, because who knows? I may find something I have a lot of passion for. I've been looking a lot into forensic psychology, like working on crime scenes and stuff, and I think that is so cool. I do think at some point I will go back to school to get my PhD. Obviously, like I said, things change. But I feel like I'm that type of person that can't just do one thing their entire life. Like, I want to do so much. I feel like there's so much time in my life, and why would I waste it just doing the same thing the whole time? I want to be a firefighter. I want to help kids in therapy. I want to teach. I want to sing. There's just so many things that I feel like I was put on this earth to do, and I want to try to do as much of it as I can. I don't want to limit my life to one thing, but one day, if choosing to go back to school for my PhD is the best fit for me, after I get enough experience in the field, I want to travel the world doing telehealth appointments for my patients. I don't know. I may be in way over my head, but I'm going to strive for greatness, and I hope I can make it there. Another part of going into my 20s is realizing I need to make friends. I'm not trying to sound like I'm throwing a pity party over here. Pablo, do you need to make that much noise? Anyway, not throwing a pity party, but I just simply don't have that many friends. I have my circle, and I love my circle so much. But I feel like I haven't made a new friend in so long, and it's really difficult for me to put myself out there. I feel like when I go to school in person next year, I'll be able to have that environment to meet new people, but as of right now, I feel like I'm very isolated, and it's got me down in the dumps. A part of growing up is realizing how precious time is. Nothing is permanent, nothing is forever. That's why I think living in the moment is so important, because if you don't take a second to look around, you might miss that really special moment. That realization of how time goes by so fast and people can just be gone is so heart-wrenching, because there was a time in my life where I thought that all of those people would be in my life forever. I thought that I would be going into my 20s with these people by my side, but I'm not, and that's okay. Something that made me realize that time goes by so fast is finances. My family was poor growing up, like dirt poor, living on food stamps, so I was always ultra aware of money. My dad would send me and my siblings spreadsheets when I was like 8 years old to prove to me how broke we are. Like me, as an 8-year-old, receiving these bank statements that I have no idea how to read, because he's blaming all of us being broke on my mom. And telling us what a piece of crap she is. So now, as an adult, I'm always in that flight or fight mindset when it comes to money. I'm always stressed about it. Even when I am financially secure and I'm able to maybe splurge on myself every once in a while, I don't because I'm always nervous that something's going to happen and I'm going to need that money. I feel like a reason I want to do so much with my life is because I constantly feel like I'm running out of time. That's also anxiety, just always living on edge, but it's really exhausting. Like I said a few episodes ago, everything links back to my childhood trauma. I spent the majority of my adolescence waiting and waiting to be grown up. Like, being a kid was so scary for me and I didn't want to do it anymore. So I wasted so much time just wishing. And from such a young age, I wish I didn't waste so much of my time wishing for something different. Doing that in my past has made me realize now I don't want to keep looking forward to a point in my life that I'm not at yet. I want to focus on what's going on right now. What can I do to help myself in this moment? I feel like for a long time, the thing that stressed me out most about growing up is that there's no set path for anyone. Obviously, for the first 18 years of your life, at least in the US, you're in the school system, and then you choose whether you want to go to college or join the workforce, and all of a sudden, people that I've known for so long are spread all over the world doing different things and living completely different lives. That was kind of when I was focusing on all these other people and not on what I was doing, but that's the most important part, because the only way that I will move forward is if I'm painting a path for myself. Even if that path changes along the way, because it changes for everyone. There's so many things I feel like were out of my control for a long time, but once I let go, which you can listen to last week's episode to hear more about that, I finally felt for the first time in control of my life in a way. There's something so freeing about the headspace I've been in. It's just not clinging onto the things that don't serve me anymore. It really gives me this sense of control in my life. Like, no, I'm not going to let that affect me anymore. A big thing that I want to focus on for myself during my 20s is avoiding burnout. This is something that happens kind of frequently for me because I do overuse my energy, which, I'm working on. But seriously, I do find myself giving so much of myself to others. Like, I save absolutely nothing for myself because I'm so concerned about what other people have, make sure they're all set. I want to make sure that I have the energy I need before I start throwing it in 100 different directions. I think mindset plays a huge role in how your life will play out. And I know that sounds so stupid, but if you're constantly thinking, this will never work out for me, or, I don't know, just limiting yourself because you don't think you can do it will affect your future. If you're only looking at that negativity, that's all you'll get out of life. Having a positive mindset, I don't want to say a positive mindset because sometimes it's not realistic. So just having a realistic mindset and just being optimistic about different situations has affected my outcome because I'm looking at it so differently. Having acne has been something that's affected my self-esteem since I started high school. I don't get acne that bad anymore because a lot of it did come from stress. I still have it, but, in middle school, I saw all these girls that had no pimples at all, and I strived to stay like that. Like, I would Facetune my photos every time I posted on Instagram. You would never catch me in a million years posting something where you can see a pimple of mine. Like, it wasn't an option. It was out of the question for me because I was so insecure. I still have acne, and it sucks, especially going into my 20s, because growing up, I had this idea in my head of the beauty standard, and I did not look like that at all. Like, not even close. I feel like I used to think that once you're not a teenager anymore, you don't have acne. Like, poof, I'm a grown up now, not gonna get it. Like, no, that's not how that works. Now I have 2 quizzes that I want to take. So this one is called, What Will Your Early 20s Be Like? So let's do it. Okay, question number 1, where do you see yourself when you're 20? Okay, so how many months do I have left? 2? Yeah, less than 2 months and I'll be 20. Wow, that's crazy. Doing what I love, consistently working without respite. Respite? Is that a word? Am I stupid? Okay, that was loud. Let's turn that ringer off. Okay, I'm gonna have to Google that word. Respite. Okay. Maybe unhappy with my work, pursuing my interests even if it's small. Okay, I feel like an idiot. Respite. A short period of rest or relief from something that's difficult. Okay. Sorry guys. A little English lesson because I did not know what that word meant. I want to say pursuing my interests even if it's small. Working on my music, even though that's just for fun. I don't really necessarily see me pursuing a career with music, but that's me pursuing my interests. Do you like to eat a lot? This is a difficult question. Only when I need to eat? No, yes, or when I can. Let's go with yes. Would you cook your own meals? Of course, I don't care. I don't have time for that, or only when friends are around. It's not that I don't have time for it, I just suck at cooking. So I'm just gonna say I don't care. Are you able to do your own laundry? Yes, I always do my own damn laundry. Do you like the idea of having a car when you get older? Well, yes, I already have one, so it's the best thing. Do you want to study and earn or do something else? Do something else, a bit of both, study to get office work, or study and pursue what I really want regardless of earnings? Honestly, yeah, the last one, study and pursue what I want regardless of the earnings. That's not going to be the deciding factor of any career choice that I make. It's going to be what I want to do. Do you ever think you've experienced burnout before? Not really, definitely, maybe, yes, but I can easily recover. I want to say yes, but I can easily recover because I've been used to burning out for so long. I don't know. I think I'll be successful by the age of 20, 50, I don't know, or depends. Definitely not 20, because I think that's way too early on in your life to gauge that you're completely successful, because where the fuck is it going to go from there? I'm going to go with depends, because things vary. All right, but that was the whole 8-question quiz. It says the result will shock you. Wow, that's a really in-depth answer. It says you like to live a simple life by the time you get older. That's great. Well, the first quiz told me that I will be living a simple life. You know, I'll live with that. I can do that. Okay, this next one is answer 11 questions and we'll tell you where you are in your 20s. Not even in my 20s yet, so let's see if I'm ahead of the game. This is a BuzzFeed quiz. Okay. Do you have any savings? Yes, I'm saving for a house. LOL, no. I try, but I always end up spending it. None? I'm not saving for a house, I'm saving for school. But I do have savings, so I guess we're gonna go with that. Okay. What time are you most likely to leave a house party? 11 p.m., 12:30 a.m., 2 a.m., 6 a.m. I don't go to parties, or it's usually my house party, so I never leave. I used to be the type of person that would leave at like 11 p.m., but now, I don't know. I usually do leave really early in the morning, because I'm like, I want to go take a shower in my shower and sleep the rest of the night in my bed, but not like 2 a.m., probably 6 a.m. I'm an early bird anyway, like that's just what time I wake up. So, yeah, I've left parties at 6 a.m. before. Okay, when ordering at a bar, it's great. When ordering at a bar, what are you most likely to get? A very specific wine, shots, the cheapest spirit they have, a cocktail, beer, or a soft drink? We're gonna go with a soft drink. Yes, not 21 yet. Okay, what's your love life situation right now? I'm ready to settle down. I'm already settled down. I'm just dating and having fun. I'm in a relationship, but I don't know where it will go. I am single and happy that way, or it's kind of complicated. We're gonna go with it's kind of complicated, alright? Do you... This is such a weird question. Do you get excited about kitchenware? WTF no? Question mark? Oh, just got a new set of spatulas. They really are made from silicone. Or only when I'm at IKEA. You know what? I'm gonna go with WTF no question mark because like I said, I'm not good at cooking, so I don't really get excited about kitchenware. Okay, what time do you usually go to sleep? Before 10 p.m., around 11 p.m., around midnight, or 2 a.m. or later? Here's my thing. My anxiety doesn't let me sleep, so if I fall asleep at like 9 p.m., I'm up at 2 a.m., and I won't fall back asleep. That's been my pattern lately, just waking up at 2 a.m. and not being able to go to sleep. So lately I've just been going to the gym at like 4 in the morning, and then by the time it's noon, I've just done everything I need to do with my day, and then I have trouble just finding other things to do, so I just do a plethora of schoolwork. But anyway, sorry, yeah, before 10 p.m. How open are you to making new friends? If it happens naturally, then sure. I love making as many friends as possible, or I can't be arsed, I have enough friends already. I love making as many friends as possible. Yeah, that one. Do you get FOMO, fear of missing out? This answer a year ago, 6 months ago, would be oh for fucking sure. But the options are yes, no, or it depends on what it is and with who. I'm not going to go with a straight out no right now because I know myself and I know I probably still would get FOMO if I still had social media. But now that I'm not seeing those things, I'm just going to say depends on what it is and with who. Alright, what are you most likely to be doing on a Friday night? This is a great question. Cooking for my friends at home, having a boozy dinner out, chilling at home because I have no money, drinking at a bar, getting wasted at a club, watching Netflix with my significant other, and ordering takeout. The last one sounds ideal, but chilling at my house because I have no money. Yep. Where are you most likely to stay when on holiday? A hostel so I can meet people, a cute Airbnb, or an affordable hotel. I want to say a hostel because I want to go travel the world and like stay in hostels, but I've never done that, so I'm not going to answer that way. I'd say an affordable hotel. I've never stayed in an Airbnb either. Alright, this is the last question. Do you feel like you know who you are? No, I'm trying to figure that out. I'm slowly getting there, but I still have existential crisis from time to time, or I feel more secure in who I am than ever before. Yeah, I feel more secure in who I am than ever before. All right, it's calculating my results. Early 20s! That's me. It says, you're in your early 20s, which means you're technically an adult, but you spend a good portion of your time pretending that's not true. Since you're not quite at the age where you have a whole host of responsibilities, you're a little more spontaneous than those older than you and love the idea of traveling or doing something big. Mostly, though, your early 20s are for slowly realizing that everyone is just as confused as you are, which is both comforting and terrifying at the same time. That's pretty much the gist of this fucking episode. Everyone's confused. No one knows what the hell they're doing. Anyway, that was fun. Thanks for listening, you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. I will talk to you guys next week. Remember that you are loved, you are valued, and you are appreciated. And if you don't know what the fuck you're doing, it's okay. Me neither. Welcome to the club. All right. Bye.